What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Now, for today's video, we obviously have to talk about the news around Jurassic World Rebirth. So they just released a very brief 2 seconds of footage in order to tease the trailer that is due out on Wednesday. Yes, it's still going to show up at the Super Bowl, but looks like we get to see it a little bit earlier in order to finally start building some hype. Now look, when it comes to this footage, the very first thing we need to discuss is the gigantic tail in the background of Jonathan Bailey's character. Now, word on the street is that Titanosaurus is supposed to show up in this film, and since it hasn't appeared in a Jurassic Park movie just yet, I think that's the safest species for this new creature to be, especially since the color and overall look of the massive tail right here doesn't resemble any of the other giant dinosaurs we've seen before in the past, and honestly, it looks like something that could make for a really cool action sequence. I would really like to see the tail like whip against a predator or something like that. Any sort of Spinosaur, Tyrannosaurus, or what have you. I mean, honestly, guys, it's a pretty cool like little tease and our very first look or glimpse, I guess, at a dinosaur in this movie. Now, one thing to note about the scene in question, Scarlett stands up like, whoa, didn't see that back there, but that's a little confusing to me because how do you miss something that massive in size? Like, I know a lot of people don't think about this, but you ever wonder about the original Jurassic Park where they like roll up on the Brachiosaurus grazing there and Alan Grant turns his head, he's like, oh my gosh, look, but that's a big animal. Like, how do you miss something like that? It's similar to this scene right here. Look, maybe the animal is secluded in some kind of mist, which this shot does seem to allude to, or maybe there's something else going on here we don't know about. Either way, Jonathan Bailey's character of Dr. Henry Loomis and Scarlett Johansson's Zora Bennett are here to collect dinosaur DNA, judging by what the synopsis has gone over. And I gotta say, that's probably gonna make for a really cool little scene. Now, when it comes to the overall look of the film, Gareth Edwards really seems to be going off of his own work from The Creator just a couple of years ago. The long grass and jungle feel of Thailand looks to be a nice location for the film in my personal opinion, and the handheld camera for when Scarlett stands up, it gives it a very different flair compared to what we've seen in other Jurassic Park movies. It almost feels like a Vietnam-centered dinosaur shot. I know this whole thing is only 2 seconds long, but hey, just something to think about. Scarlett Johansson actually looks like a pretty cool character here, complete with equipment and gear that looks way more suited to hunting for genetic dinosaur material than what we've seen since the Lost World Jurassic Park. And Jonathan Bailey basically looks like Tim from the first movie all grown up, which that's not what he's supposed to be, but I mean, like, I don't think that's too far of a stretch to really make that kind of a comparison. Now, of course, the movie itself is going to have the full trailer reveal on Wednesday, so we should be getting a lot more cool info on the film soon. With David Koepp returning to write this thing and Gareth Edwards directing and the general plot returning things to sinister engine secrets on a dinosaur island, it's shaping up to be a pretty wild entry in the franchise. Honestly, guys, I don't want to hold your time too much longer. There's only 2 seconds to really go over in this thing. Be sure to come back here on Wednesday where we're going to definitely dive into what they've got in store. Now, I'm turning it back to you. What do you guys think about this little teaser? What are your expectations for this film? And do you like what you've seen so far? Whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear all about them in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I want to thank everyone that's helped me build my channel over the years. I'd also like to thank every one of you guys who've watched my stuff. You've all been extremely cool to me. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like and hope that you'll consider subscribing. God bless you all. Christ is King. See you guys in the next video. And as always, take it easy.